So we're talking about investing in a side hustle. Yeah, so we can just wrap up with that.
Yeah, so that's how. Okay, so I think that when it comes to side hustle, it's important to always consider the time that you have. Consider the basic things that people need. Once you focus on the basic things that people need, that becomes a very good way to think of a side hustle that works for you. Again, it's important to note that side hustle can grow into your main hustle. So the commitment that you put into it is what will lead it to grow over a period of time. There are some work that you are doing at the moment that perhaps if you call it a quit and you rather channel the effort to side hustle, you'll be doing very well.
That's true.
I did a video on budgeting, I think some few months ago, and someone claimed that she's being paid 800 cedis and she wanted me to do a budget for her. My best advice for me, the best advice I gave her was that when she's paid the next salary, she should just quit the job. Use that salary as a sacrifice to start a side hustle. I gave an example of the water business. Just start a water business with that. Let's say 200 cedis, 300 out of the 800. Put in your efforts into that business. 6 months down the line, you'll be making times 3, times 4 of whatever 800 cedis that you were enjoying some few months ago, and you even have time to do other things. So sometimes it's about the fear. If I stop, what will happen? But if you really think that even whilst you are working, that money is nothing to write home about, then it's better you rather make it a point to start a side hustle. And if that one works for you, at least you know that it's something that you have created over the period of time. If you can also change job, pay rise, that's all something that you can do to increase your income. But for side hustle, it's something that if you have the passion for it, you should consider. As I said earlier on, business is not for everybody.
Yeah.
So if side hustle does not work for you, it doesn't work for you. Don't force it.
I interviewed a pure water seller, and she was making around, she said at least you make on a day when the rain was around 200 cedis. And this is after she had paid off whoever, because they go and buy the water, and when you sell, you keep. So after she had paid off, and she goes Monday to Saturdays. And so you can imagine how much she's already making in a month. Yeah. I also work with a Kaya here who was saving with her. So when we go to the market, she gives us money to keep for it. No less than 300 cedis a day. And the girl has gone back to school. She's in nursing school now. So sometimes people are fixated on working in an air-conditioned space and all that. And so side hustle for me is one thing that we should focus on. But my question to you is, which sector should we focus on? Everybody's doing agribusiness now. Everybody thinks that tech seems to be the place. Everybody wants to be a social media influencer. What should people invest in? Again, 20K in mind.
It's not always about the returns you are making on the business. You can make good returns, but if you are not passionate about what you are doing, eventually you call it a quit. So be passionate about what you are doing. 2, all the areas you've mentioned, they are very good areas that are booming. Content creation is booming for the young people because of how we are always in a hurry to feed on information. Agribusiness is also doing very well nowadays. Young people are going into agric nowadays, and they are going to maize, they are going to soybean, a lot of things that people are doing to make some money. You can also focus on manufacturing, turning a particular crop, turning it around, giving it a different feel, value. That is also something you can do. Or you can decide to go into commerce, buying and selling. That's the commonest that we all know, buying and selling. Things that people will need every now and then. You can go into it, buy and sell. That's also something that you can do with 20K. Yeah. Some of these business that we are talking about, you don't even need to have a warehouse, a shop to do that. You don't need to do that. Yeah. Nowadays, because of technology, digital, social media, there are things that you can even manage from home. So once you settle on what works for you, and again, what you need to do is to do a little bit of either formal or informal research about what you want to do. Don't just jump into it because you have seen stores selling the same thing, so you think that particular business is booming. No. You'll be surprised that the moment you join that chain of business, it's not as you think, because you did not ask. Yeah. Spend some time, do some research, talk to people, Let them give you an insight as to what is happening within the space, and that will give you an idea. Okay, I think that this will not work for me because I listening to you or listening to people. There's so much in that I may not have time to manage. For example, I always tell friends who ask me whether they should go into transport business. I will tell them that first of all, if you don't have time, don't go into it. If you are not hard, don't go into it. If you are someone who likes to add human face, no, don't go into it. The moment the driver misses the first sales, sack him. If you can't sack him, then you are not in for business because he will do it again. He will do it and do it and do it until the car is even damaged. How can I buy a Ghana use home use car, taxi, and within 6 months I have to change the engine? Why? Because the car was not sleeping.
They were using it.
Day, night, everybody was the driver will come and use it for day, someone will come and use it for night. 6 months, vapor, dark vapor. I had to change the engine. So these are all things that you need to spend time to understand before you go into any side hustle or any industry, because an industry may be performing very well in, let's say, Agenta. That same industry may not perform well in Kaswa. So again, the location is very important. And then your target audience. Which people are you targeting? Do you have even the means to buy the product that you are putting on sale? You are into, let's say, watches. And the watch that costs around, let's say, 500 cedis, 1,000 cedis. And you have targeted a very low income area. Trust me, it will not work. So these are industries, tips that people need to put in mind when they want to go into business. Because business is good. However, it demands more than what you think. It demands your time. And you should be able to bounce back if things do not go well.
Now, let's wrap up. You have some money. There's a young person with something in hand that wants to invest. I'm advising the young Ghanaian here has some money, has an 8-to-5 job, wants to invest. We've talked about diversification, putting money here, the possibility of doing side hustle. If you're going to do land, be sure that there's an area where you can sell it or you can protect it. What would you say is an advice to the Ghanaian who says, I don't have enough money, but I still want to go in to make sure that my future is secured?
So, luckily for us in Ghana, we have what we call the personal investment plan, PIP. Some institutions call it special investment plan, others call it personal pension plan. It's still the same. This is an investment that is run by pension companies, private pension companies. This gives you the opportunity to build up an investment portfolio over a period of time. So if you are listening, you are watching, maybe you are 20 years, 25 years, you don't have huge capital to do a big investment. You don't have huge capital to perhaps go and do treasury bill 10,000. You have just about 200 cities, 100 cities, or you can do 50 cities every month. Instead of being discouraged to say that I'm waiting to get some huge money, let that money go into a personal investment plan. Contribute that money every month. Be consistent. An investment that runs monthly or periodically works with what we call a compound interest. It means that you're able to build interest upon interest. And if you give yourself 3 to 4 years, you realize that sometimes the amount you are contributing, you are even making more in terms of interest on a monthly basis than how much you are contributing. And it works with time. So if you are a young person, you have time. If you have a target of, let's say, 10 million Ghana cedis, 20 million, 100 million Ghana cedis, the amount of money that you will contribute today will be lesser than someone who is in his 40s or 50s. So the best time to do that is now, little by little. Do some little investment. Again, put some little monies if you can into insurance. In our part of the world, we see insurance as an afterthought. Okay, so maybe this will happen, so let me do it. No. An insurance is to give you a safe net. Because certain things in life will happen, whether we like it or not. Death can happen, an illness can happen, an accident can happen. So put some money aside against those ones so that when they happen, you don't have to go and sell your house, you don't have to go and sell your assets to be able to be the same thing that you ought to have known that it was going to happen. Death can happen. So assuming it happens to you, mom, dad, and you are the first child or your only child, family will just come there and be looking at you. They will just be watching you to see your first move. So that's why insurance is also very important that you need to do. So put some little money into insurance. If you have a child, education policy for the person, you may not be there while the child gets to university. But the money that you're able to put aside for the child will be something that will help the child. So these are basic things. But the most important thing in all of the things I've mentioned is consistency. Investment is not a touch and go issue. It's a consistent approach. Consistently be investing. Let investment be part of your life. And that's the only way you'll be able to scale up if your income goes up. That investment tomorrow can be your business capital. That investment tomorrow may be some money that you need to unlock a particular opportunity. That if you are not having it, you will not be able to unlock it. So for me, these are the basic things that we all need to put in mind when it comes to investment.
And the consistency. Now, you've been in this space, you've advised people, you've guided people, and sometimes I'm sure when a person comes to you the first day, you interact with them, and when they take steps, you'll see them after you say, okay, this person has actually done what keeps you going in doing this, and what has kept you to believe that there's future for us here in Ghana and on the continent? You could easily run away, jackpot, maybe something else somewhere, but you're still here advising people, guiding people to invest within the country, to stay within this economy and believe that things are going to get better. What keeps you going?
Yes, what keeps me going, whether I'm in Ghana or outside Ghana, is the fact that testimonies can be touching. Imagine someone coming to you and say that, Patrick, if I did not listen to you 2 years ago, my life was going to the ditch. Or I've listened to you for, let's say, 3 years. I've been able to build this. I've been able to do that. God bless you. For me, that is all. That's what makes me happy what I do. Without that, it's not about money. If it's about money, I take consultation fee. I'm done. But that will not energize me. Anytime I wake up in the morning, the first thing that comes into my mind is that, what can I share to create value for people? What new opportunity is there that people need to know to enrich their life? So I can be in the bathroom, I can be sitting, just ideas, thinking. Business, what business idea will help people? What teaching should I need to give people? For example, I did a video on annuity. And at the time I was doing that video, my followers on Facebook and even on TikTok, about 95%, if I'm not mistaken, about 95 to 99% had not heard of annuity before. Never. But they heard of annuity because I talked about it. Where I said that if you are going on retirement and you have some lump sum of money, instead of allowing the money to sit down, you can give the money to an insurance company or a pension company for them to be paying you some money out of that every month. That will be in addition to what Smith is paying you. Classical. Brilliant. People do not know about it. So I don't want to put that particular burden on the institutions. If they do it, fine. But for me, mine is to make sure that consistently I'm telling people what is happening. And when that changed their life and they give testimony, that's what gives me joy. Other than that, trust me, I would have stopped. Usually when I started my YouTube channel, and for like almost 4 years, I was not even up to 1K subscribers. Meaning I couldn't even monetize it. Meanwhile, people that maybe around the same time were doing other things, maybe spiritual, entertainment, were growing their numbers. So you sit back and say, okay, should I diversify? But for me, because I have passion for what I do, trust me, if you give me the opportunity to speak from morning to evening, talking about investments, savings, I can do that without even feeling I'm tired. I only get tired when I sit down. Because it's something I have passion for. So once you're passionate about it, and you see testimonies, you see people coming to you, their life change, that is my joy. And once I get that kind of joy, I just wake up the next moment, going to create another content for them.
All right. I like that you are for making impact. Last question. I know you were with the Society of Bankers, and when we had a line issue, I was asking you, are there courses that I can take, any help that I can take? I know you don't speak for the institute. Are you able to touch on any of these things that you, because I still believe that for some of us, but for education, wouldn't be where we are. So I still believe in that life is a journey of learning, and anytime you have the opportunity and the resources to learn something new that can add value to you. So is that something that anybody listening can pick from the institute?
Yeah, so Chartered Institute of Bankers is mandated by law to promote the study of banking in Ghana and to regulate the practice of the banking profession. What it basically means that we are shaping people working within the banking industry. We are developing trusted professionals. We have been in existence for the past 62 years. And what it means is that we have been able to produce a number of professionals who work in the various financial institutions, even some non-bank financial institutions. In terms of our programs, we have what we call the Associate Chartered Banker Program, ACI program. That's our flagship program where we run 13 courses. So the 13 courses go to level 1, level 2, all the way to level 4, then become a chartered banker. But we know that some people may not have the time to go through all of that. They don't want to work in a bank, they don't want to work in a financial institution. But they want to have knowledge about maybe credit management, they want to have knowledge about treasury, they want to have knowledge about enterprise risks. We have that program that you can come and register for that standalone program, write exams, and then you pass out with that qualification or that certificate. That also builds your capacity. So what we do is not just for you to pass your exams, but it's the value, the competencies that you build within that program. So that's what we do. And we are calling on people that are within the banking sector, outside the banking sector, that if you want to really shape your career, you want to build your competence within the financial space, you have to be a member of Chartered Institute of Bankers and go to the program so that you be called a professional. Once you're a professional, it means that you are doing things according to certain code of ethics and not how you feel. So a professional, you go to a banking sector, you see the teller is always smiling. It doesn't mean that the teller does not have problems at home, but she's only smiling because she's a professional. That's the work that she does, and that's what professionals do. So you have a lot of people in the banking industry. Not everybody is a professional. So those who are not professionals yet, the call is that try and register with Chartered Institute of Bankers, write the exams, be qualified, so that you can also call yourself a professional within the banking industry, working towards a certain code of ethics.
Thank you very much, Patrick, for coming on the show. I have added more to my small bottle of wisdom knowledge, and I am more than happy that you were able to make it. I look forward to meeting you again, and I hope that we are able to make impact within the continent.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.